In this lesson, I will be teaching you how to write at the speed of speech and how disjoined prefixes are applied to the Gregg Shorthand system, being the 9th lesson in my tutorial series on learning Gregg Shorthand. The disjoined prefix AGR and AGGR are expressed by a loop, and the prefix ANT is expressed by a disjoined circle. So for the AGR prefix, an agree is simply just a loop. For agreeability, it is a loop and then a separated B for the ability at the end. Agreed is the loop and then a D separate. Agriculture is the loop with a separate K. Agricultural is the loop again, and then the C for the K, and then the L. And then aggressive is the loop again for the AGGR part. The E here is understood, and then the S, and then a V. Aggravate is the loop, and then the V, A, T. Aggrandize is the loop, and then the ND stroke with a long I, and there's the Z. Now for anticipate, we're going to use the circle for this disjoined prefix ANT. So it's going to be the circle. This I here is understood. So it's going to be the S, the I, and the P. Antique is going to be the circle and then a K. Interior is going to be a circle and then an O and an R. And again, this I here is understood, so this is why we went with the OR at the end. Antipathy is AN and then the P, THE. Antagonize is the circle, the G, N, long I, and S or Z sound. Antidote is the circle, and then D, O, T. Then finally, antiquated, it is the circle, and then the K, A, T, E, distro, and then a dash underneath showing the W sound in antiquated. The disjoined prefix center is represented by a raised SN, and then contra and counter as a disjoined prefix is represented by a K that is written above the line. So we'll start with the prefix center. So for the word central, it is simply SN, standing for this SENTR, and then an L. For center, it is just simply S and N. Centralize is an S and N, an L, long I, S. Centrifugal is S, N, and F. The word eccentric, it has the center in the middle of the word. So we're going to start with an E, then write the S, and then the N, and then the K here. Now most of the time, this vowel here is understood. In the word contract, we're going to use the K that's above the line as a disjoined prefix. So here's the K above the line. Then there will be another K, below. Contrary is a K, and then an R and an E at the end. Control is a K, again for the contra here, and then an L. For contribute, it is a K and a B. Controversy is a K, then a V, E, S, E. For contradiction, it is a K above the line, and then a D, an I, a K, and the SH for the shun at the end. Contraction is a K, and a P, and an SH for the shun at the end. Counterpart, and here we're encountering encounter, if you will. So for counterpart is the K above the line, and then a P and a T. For counterfeit is a K above the line, then F, E, T. The disjoined prefix contra is represented by a KS above the line. The prefix decla is represented by a DE that is above the line. For the word construct, it is a K, S, then below it, another K. Construction is K, S, then a K, SH. For constructive is a K, S, and then a K and a V. Constrained or constrain first is K, S, and then an N. For constrained, it is K, S, and then an NT stroke. For construe, this is simply just a K and an S above the line. For construed, it is K, S, and then a separate D. For misconstrued, we'll simply write the M, S, and a K, S, and then a D for the past tense. And now for the prefix decla, we'll start with the word decline, and the prefix again is DE above the line, and then an N to complete the word decline. For declined, it is a DE and then an NT stroke. For the word declare, it is DER. For declaration, it is a disjoined DE and then an RASH. For declaim, it is simply the D and the E disjoined and then an M. For declamation, it is a D, E, then an M, and then an SH for the shun at the end for declamation. The prefix Deter is expressed by the disjoined D above the line. The disjoined prefix distra or destra is represented by a DS above the line. So for the word detriment, simply just write a D above the line, and then an M for the MENT at the end. For detrimental, it is a D, and then an M, L. For deteriorate, is simply a D above the line, and then an O, R, A. For deter, it is just simply writing a D above the line. Above the line, so you won't get that mixed up with the short form would, which is represented by D, but on the line. And then the word deterrent is represented by the D above the line, and then an NT stroke underneath it. The word detract is a D above the line, and then a K. For detraction is a D above the line, a K, and an SH for the shun. Now on to the other disjoined prefix, distra or destra. For destroy is simply the DS above the line, and then an O and an E. For distribute, it is D, S, and a B below it. For distribution, it is D, S, B, and SH. For distract or district, it is represented by a D, S, and then a K underneath it. For distraction or destruction, it is a D, an S, and then a K, and an SH. For distraught, it is D, S, and then a T. And remember, the vowel in here is understood, so there's no need to write it. And then finally, for the word distress, it is a D above the line, S, and then a right S below it. The disjoined prefixes Electra and electric are represented by the EL above the line, and the disjoined prefixes EXTR, EXTER, and even EXCL are represented by the ES above the line. So for electric, we'll write the EL above the line, and then the K right underneath. For electrical, we'll write the EL again, and then the KL. For electricity, we'll write the EL, and then a right S underneath that. For electrocuted, it is EL, and then a K, an E, a U, and a TED stroke. For electrify, we'll write E, L, and an F. For electrician, we'll write the E, L, and an SH for the shun underneath. Now on to the EXTR prefix. The word extra is just simply ES above the line. Extraordinary is ES with an O with an DEN stroke. Extreme is simply ESM. Extradite is ESD long I. Extricate is ES then a KAT. Exterior is ES and then an O and an R. External is an ES and then an NL. Exterminate is ES and then an MEN stroke, then an A and a T. For extravagant, it is simply ES and then a G. Extremity is ES and then the MD stroke. And on to the EXCL disjoined prefix, exclude, is E, S, and then a D. Exclusive is E, S, and then an S, and a V. And finally, exclamation, E, S, and then M, and the SH for the shun at the end. The disjoined prefix INCL is represented by the E, and the prefix instra, or INSTR, is represented by the NS. And then finally, the prefix intel is represented by the N. So for the word include, we'll simply write the E above the line, and then a separate D. For incline, it is the E and then an N below it. Inclination is an E, N, and an SH. Inclined is an E and then an ND stroke. Inclusion is the E and then an SH. And again, this U here is understood as the vowel. Inclusive is the E again, and then an S and a V. For inclement, it is the E, the M, the N stroke, and then a T. For inclemency, it is the E, and then the M, the N stroke, S, E. On to the next prefix, instra. So for the word instruct, it is NS, and then a K below it. For the word instruction, we'll write the N, S, and a K, and an SH. For instructor, it is the N, S, K, R. For instrument, it is N, S, then the M for the ment at the end. Instrumental is N, S, M, and then an L. Now on to the intel disjoined prefix. So for intelligence, it is the N and then a J. And this is somewhat of a short form. For intelligent, we'll write the N and then the GEND stroke or PEND stroke sometimes. For intellect and intellectual is the same outline. It's simply the N and then a separate K. For unintelligent, we're going to write an N for un and then a jogged between the other N and then the GEND stroke for unintelligent. The disjoined prefixes ENTER, INTER, and INTR are expressed by the disjoined N written above the line. So for the word enter, it is simply an N above the line. For the past tense entered, it is the N and then a D. For enterprise, it is an N, P, R, long I, S. For entrance, it is the N, and then an N below it with an S. For entertain, it is an N, and then a T, the N stroke. For the word interest, it is an N, and then an S below it. For its past tense, interested, it is an N, an S, and then a separate T at the end. For interfere, it is an N, and then an F, E, R. For interior, it is an N, and then we're going to put this O in here, O, R. For intermediate, it is an, and then an M, E, D. Internal is an N, and another N below it, and then an L. For interpret, it is an N and a P. For interpretation, it is an N, a P, and an SH. For interrogate, it is an N. Then we're going to add this O here and a G for interrogate. For interrupt, it is an N and then a U, P. For intersection, it is an N, an S, E, K, S, H. For interstate, it is an N and an S and a T. For interval, it is an N, then a V, and an L. For interview, it is an N, then a V, E, and a U. And for intruder, it is an N, then a D, and then a reverse E for the sound at the end. For intricate, we'll write the N, and then a K below it. For introduce, we'll write an N, then a D, U, S. For introvert, we'll write an N, then a V, reverse circle E, and a T. And finally, intrigue is an N, and then a G. The common rule with the disjoined prefixes is that the vowel here is understood and omitted. Like in the word entered, there is no vowel in here. Or entrance, this A is not included. Or in interest, this E is not included. Now, there are some words where a vowel will need to be inserted, like interrogate, for instance. Now, the way to tell this is that it has a double R, hence the O that is inserted here. And also, so that you can tell the difference between interrogate and intrigue. Another word that is similar to this is interrupt. You notice the two R's here, so we included the U and the P here. This way we can tell the difference between interrupt and interprets. And also another word here, interior. You notice there's two vowels after the prefix, so the O here is inserted. The disjoined prefixes Magn, and in the names that start with MC or MAC are represented by the disjoined M, and then the disjoined prefix multi is expressed by the MU. So for the first word, magnificent, this is an M and then an F. Magnitude is an M and a T, U. Magnolia is an M, and then an L, A, and then with a dot in the middle for the E at the end. Magnifier is M, and then an F and an R below it. Magnet is M with a T below it. Magnetic is an M with a T, E, K. Magnetize is an M, then a T, a long I, and an S below that. And for the last name McNeil, the MC is the M, and then Neil, N-E-L. For Mackenzie, with the MAC in here, it'll just be an M, and then an N, an S, and an E. For Macintosh, an M, and then an NT stroke, and then an O, and an SH. Now on to the prefix multi. For multitude, this will be an MU, and then a TU. Multiplicity will be the MUPL, and then a disjoined right S at the end for the disjoined suffix city at the end. For multiple, it is MU and then PL. For multiply, it is MUPL long I. For multiplication, it is MU and then PLEK, and an SH at the end there. The multifaceted, I'm going to show you two ways of writing this. One is writing it out the long way, and another is a short way. So for the long way, multifaceted is MUFASCET. Distro. The short way is an MU and then an F, and then a T for the past tense ED at the end. Multicolored is MU and then KUL and then a T at the end for the ED past tense. For multi-millionaire, we'll write the MU and then MILN and a reverse A for the air sound at the end with the R. The disjoined prefix over is expressed by the O above the line. For the word over is an O of the line. For overlook, it is O, then LU. For overtake, it is OTAK. For overboard, OBOD. The R here is understood. The word overcome is OKM. For overdue is ODU. For overhaul, it is OH, O on its side, L. Overheard is OH, reverse circle E, and a D. Of course, the reverse circle is to represent this R. Overnight is ON long I. Overrule is ORL. Overshadow is OSHADO. Oversight is OS long I and a T. Overt is O and a T. Overtime is O and a T EM stroke. Overturn is O and then a T E N. Overwhelmed is O, then a U E L, and then an MD stroke at the end. Then finally, overcharge is an O, then a CH and J together for charge, overcharge. The prefixes para and post are represented by a disjoined P. Now for para, the P is written above the line for the rest of the word, and post is written beside the rest of the word. The word paragraph, write the P, I here, and then a G. Parallel is a P, and then an L. Unparalleled, which is the negating cousin of parallel, is an N, and then a P, and then the L with a curved up D at the end. For paramount, it is a P and a N stroke, and then a T. Paradise is P, then D, long I, S. Parasite is P, then S, long I, and T. Paralysis is a P, then an L, and then two S's strung together. Parachute is a P, then an SH, U, T. Paradox is a P, D, O, X. Of course, the X is a tilted S. Now on to post, and remember this is written beside the rest of the word. So for postage, it is a P, and then a J for the rest of the word. Postal is a P, and then an L. For postmaster is a P, and then M, A, S. For the word postpone, it is a P, then a P, O, N. For postponement, it is a P, then a P, O, and the N stroke. For posterior, it is a P, and then an E, and an R. For posthumous, it is a P, then an E, U, M, U, S, and of course an H right there. For postgraduate, it is a P, then a G, R, A, D, E, U, T. And then finally, post office, two separate words. But if you think of post office box, we usually say P.O. box. So you're just going to write a P, then an O beside it. The disjoined prefixes, Reclub, or R-E-C-L, is represented by an R-E. Restra, or R-E-T-R, is expressed by disjoined R. And then restra, or R-E-S-T-R, is represented by an R-S. So we'll start with the Reclub. For the word recline, it is R-E, and then an N below it. For recliner, like the chair, it is R-E, then an N, and a reverse circle E. For reclaimed, it is R-E, then an M. For the past tense reclaimed, it is R-E, then an M-D stroke at the end. For reclamation, it is R-E, then M, then SH for shun. For recluse, it is R, E, then an S, right below it. On to the Electra, which we're just going to use an R this time. For retrieve, it is R and then a V. For retroactive, it is an R, an A, K, V. For retreat, it is an R and a T below it. Retract is R and a K. For retribution, it is an R, a B, and an SH. For retrospect, it is an R, S, P. And for the negating cousin of retrieve, we have irretrievable, which this is going to be an E, R, then a V mixed in with the V. On to RESTR for restrain, or for restrain first. It is an RS and then an N. For restraint or restrained, we'll write an R, S, and then an NT stroke. For restrict, write an R, S, and then a K. For restriction, write an R, S, K, SH. And for its negating cousin, unrestricted, we'll write an N, R, S, K, and then a T. And then finally, restraining order is an R, S, and then an O, D. The disjoined prefixes self, circu, and circle are all expressed by a disjoined left S. For the word selfish, it is the left S and then an SH. For self-confident, it is an S, then a K, and an F. Of course, confidence, the K and the F is a short form. For self-control, now this is going to be a double disjoint prefix because we're going to write the left S for the self, and then the K for the contra, then a disjoined L underneath. For self-evident, it is an S, and then an E, V. For self-sufficient, it is S, and then an S, U, F. Self-supporting, now here again, we're going to use two disjoint prefixes here, the ones in the next lesson. So for self, we're going to write the left S. But for this SUPR portion in supporting, we're going to write a right S, and then a T and ing at the end. The word circular, it is an S and then an L. For circulate, it is the S and then an L, A. For circulated, it is the S, L, A, and then a T in the past tense. For circuit, it is an S and then a T. Circulatory, it is an S, L, A, and then a separate R, E after that. Circulatory. The word circus is a left S and then a right S underneath it. For circumstances, it is a left S and then an S, TEN stroke, and then two blended S's for circumstances. For circumference is an S and then an F. For circumvent is an S, the V, and an NT. For circumstantial, write the S, then another S below it, the TEN stroke, and then the SH for the show at the end. For circumnavigate, write the left S, and then the N, A, V, and a G. The disjoined prefixes short and ship are represented by an SH. For the prefix short, the SH is written above the line, ship on the line. But for the word short, simply just this SH here above the line. For shorter, it is SH and then an R below it. Shorten is an SH and an N below it. Shorthand is the SH and then the ND or NT stroke. Shortage is the SH and then a J. Shortly is an SH and then an E. Short-lived is an SH for short, and then LE, and then a T at the end, disjoined for short-lived. Shortcomings is an SH, K, M, then a disjoined left S for the ings at the end, shortcomings. For shortest, it is an SH and then an ST below it. On to the ship disjoint prefix. So for the word ship, it's just simply the SH. It's on the line. For shipment, and this is one of the only words where you're going to connect the MENT to it. So that is represented by an SH and then an M for the ment at the end. For shipyard, we'll write the ship here, and then reverse circle A, then a D. And the A is a little looped here to represent the Y as well. So for ship builder, this is an SH, and then a B, L, curve up to represent the D, and then an R. For shipwreck, it is an SH, and then an R, E, K. For ship owner, it is SH, and then an O, N, then a reverse circle E. For reshipped, we're just going to write an R, E, and then an SH here, and then a disjoined T for the past tense for reship. For ship load, it is an SH, and then an L, and an O, D. And finally, shipping department is going to be an SH, and then a disjoined D, representing department. The disjoined prefix super is represented by the right S, and the disjoined prefixes susp, and suscept are represented by the SS blend, starting with the left S. So for the word super, we'll write the right S. For the word superb, it's going to be the right S and then the B. For superintendent, this is somewhat of a short form too, so it's going to be the S for super and then the N and the TEN stroke. For superior, remember there's a vowel in here after the R, so we're going to write the O here. So it is su, the S-U-P-E-R, for the right S, then the O, and the R. For superiority, we're going to use a disjoint suffix, actually, which is the R-I-T-Y. So it is S, and then an R, standing for the R-I-T-Y at the end for superiority. For supervise or supervisor, both of these will work for the both words over the same outline, is the S, and then a V, long I, S. For the word support, it is simply S, and then a T below it. For supreme, it is the right S and an N below it. For superimpose, it is S, M, P, O. Here the S on the end here is understood. Suppressive is the S for super, or for the suppress here, and then the sieve is just going to be another S and a V. For superficial, it is an S, and then an F, I, S, H. On to the next set of prefixes. Susceptible, we're just going to use the blended S for this first part. So it's the left S blended into the right S, and then the T-I-B-L here, so the T, and then the B. And for the word suspect, it is simply the S blend, and then a K below it. Unsuspected, it uses this root here, if you notice. So un is just going to be represented by an N, and then the SUSP is going to be the S blend, then a K under here, and a T. For suspend, it's going to be the S blend, and then the N distro. For suspense, it is the S blend, N S. For suspension, it is the SS blend, and then the N and SH. For suspicious, it is the SS blend, and then the SH, U, S. And finally, for suspicion, it is simply the SS blend, and then the SH underneath for the shun. The disjoined prefix trans is represented by a disjoined T, and the disjoined prefix under by a U above. So for transaction, it will be a T above the line, then an A, K, and an SH. For transfer, it will be a T, then an F, E, R. For translation, it is a T, then an L, A, SH. For transport, it will be a T, P, O, and T. Now this R here is understood. For transcript, it is a T, and then a K, and an R. For transformation, it is a T, F, M, SH. For transmit, it is a T, M, I, T. For transparency, it is a T, a P, A, R, S-E-N-S-E. For transpire is a T and a P, a long I. For transition is a T and then an SH below that. Now for the word under is a U by itself. For understanding is a U and then an S, a T instr, and a dot for the ing. For understood, it is a U and then S, T, U. For undertake, it is a U and a T, A, okay. For underneath, it is a U, N, E, T, H. For underline, it is a U and then an L, A, N. For undergo or underground, we'll use the U and then a G below it. For undermine, it is a U and an M, a long I, and an N. For undercover, it is a U and a K and a V. On to the brief forms. The word agree is a loop or large loop. For system or says is the blended S starting with the left S. The word bound, it is B and N. For morning is the instr and the dot ing. For serious, it is S-E-R-S. For about, it is A and B. For what, it is an O and a T. For body, it is a B and an O. For look, L-U. For there or there, whichever one you're using, you'll just use the upward or under TH. The word then is the over TH and then extended a little bit to represent that N. For like, it is L-A. For without, it is E, TH, and a T. And finally, for the word truth, it is T-R. And now, on to the phrases. The phrase, I am bound, it is the A, M, B, N. To find, it is a T, and then an F, a long I. This morning, it is the TH and the S for this, and then the M stroke, and the dot ing. For looks like, L-U-S, and then L-A. For so many, is the S-O, the M stroke, and then the E. For it's my understanding, it's going to be the TEM stroke, the A, the under here is going to be understood, if you will, and then the S-T-E-N stroke, and then a dot for the ing. For who was the, a dot for the H, and then the U, O, S, and a TH for the. For on all is the O on its side, and then O on its side again. For in this case, it is the N, TH, and the S, and the K, A, S. And then the N distro, with the TH and N added to the end there. There is the under TH, then the S. For has been is the A, left S, and then the B. To avoid is a T, and a V, O, E. On to the sentences, and sentence number 1. The phrase I am bound is A, M, B, N. To find is T, F, and a long I. Something is S, M, dot for ing. Healthy is a dot for the H, E, L, T, H, E. 2 is T, U. Eat, E, T. This morning is the THS blend, the instro, and the dot for the ing. For because is K, S. I am is A, M. Serious is the left S, E, R, S. About is A, B. Transforming is the disjoined T, and then the F, M, dot for the ing. For what? It is the O and the T. For my, M, A. For body, it is a B and an O. For looks like, it is L, U, S, L, A. And then a period. On to sentence number 2. Contrary is K, then a separate R, E underneath. To the, T, U, T, H. Anticipation, disjoined A, and an S, I, P, S, H. Of, an O, A is a dot. Disagreement, this is a D, the loop, and then an M. For both, it is B, O, T, H. For parties, it is P, T, E, S. For took, it is T, U, K. For extraordinary, is a disjoined E, S, with an O and a D, E, N stroke. For measures, it is M, E, S, H, U, S. 2, T, U. Include, a disjoined E, and then a D. Dot for the A. Centralized is an S, and the N, and then L, long I, S, D. System is the blended S's. Of is the O, and electricity is E, L, and then an S underneath for the disjoined suffix city, and then a period. On to sentence number 3. For the phrase to my understanding, we'll write the TEM stroke, the A, then the S, TEN stroke, and then a dot for the ing. Because it's written like this, right below, to my, the U is understood. The is the TH. Suspect is the S and the S, then a K. Who was the is a dot, U, O, S, and TH. Intruder is the N, and then a disjoined D, then a reverse circle E for intruder. In the is N, TH. Home is H, or dot for the H, O on its side, M. Invasion is an N, V, A, S, H. Was is O, S. Found is F, and distro. Guilty is G, E, L, T, E. On all is O on its side, N, O on its side again. Charges is the CH and the J together. First an S. Then for but is a B. In is an N. Retrospect is an R. Then an S, P. Sum is S, M. Believe is a B and an E. The, TH. Evidence is E, V, D-E-N stroke, S. In this case is an N, the TH and an S together, then a K, A, S. Was is the O and the S. Overwhelmingly is a disjoined O, and then a W, E, L, M, and then a separated circle for the Incl at the end. Circumstantial is left S, and then an S, T-E-N stroke, and an SH, and a period. Now the words, if you notice the stars here, can be shortened, especially when taken verbatim shorthand. So for guilty, we'll write the G, then the E. For evidence, we'll just write E and the V. On to sentence number 4. The phrase it is T, S. Aggravating is the upward loop, and then V, A, T, a dot for the ing. How is A, U. So many is S, O, M-E-N stroke, E. People is P, E, P. Misconstrue, and remember the contra prefix, disjoined. So we're just going to put the MS first, and then the K and the S below it. Then the U at the end is understood. For the is a TH. Truth is TR. Of is an O. And so you use a dot for that. Event is EV, then an NT stroke. And then we're going to blend these two in. So it's the ND stroke, and then the then is a TH N running together. A spin is SPEN. The is TH, of course. Story, STORE. Superseding is a disjoined S, and then an SED dot for the ing. TH for the. Actual is A-K-T-L. Fax is F-A-K-S. Merely is M reverse circle E, and then another E below for the Ly. 2 is T-U. Selfishly is the left S disjoined, and then an SH, and then an E for the LY at the end. Fit is F-I-T. There is the under TH. The narrative is an N-A-R-A, and then a separate V afterwards, and of course the period. On to sentence number 5. So the phrase there is the TH and the S, a dot, shortage, is an SH above the line, and then a J next to it. Of the is an O and TH. Multitude is an M, U, and a separate T, U. Of is an O. Qualified, this is a K, O, F, and then a T for the past tense qualified. Divers is D, long I, V, R, S. 2 is T, U. Explore is E, S, P, L, R. The is a TH. Shipwreck is an SH closer to the line than an R, E, K. Without is an E, a TH, and a T. Restriction is R, S, then a disjoined K, and then an SH. Once is a U, N, S. AN or AN is a dot. Underwater is the U above the line, and then U, O, T, reverse circle E. Permit is P, R, M, E, T. Has been is going to be A, blending with the left S, and then a B. Filed is an F, long I, L, and then tilted to represent D. To avoid, we're just going to write the T, and then the V, and then O, E. The is a TH. Country is a K and a T. Of is an O. Origin, O, R, I, J, and then an N. From is F, M. Reclaiming is R, E, and then the M and an I-N-G. The is a TH. The finally wreckage is R, E, K, J. Of course, the period. Thank you for watching and for your interest in learning verbatim testimonial style Gregg Shorthand. Check out my corresponding tutorial videos on shorthand lessons of the various principles of the system, of which the next lesson is disjoined suffixes. I've included a link to it below, and feel free to subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell to receive notifications on new shorthand lesson videos.